Sometimes I see people talking about how good the average NBA player is, and I don't think people quite understand how good they are. But boys, today, again, not in the studio, but you know the drill. I'm always going to bring you guys a video on my vacation. So for the next 2 weeks, videos will be right here. This is my little studio. But without further ado, let's talk about how good the average NBA player is. So I hear people talking about like, oh, I could shoot free throws better than this guy. I could dribble past this guy. Like average people think they can compete with NBA players. And I know people could look at an NBA game, look at the last guy on the bench and think like, oh, that sucks. This guy is not really playing a lot. He's probably not that good. But they don't understand what that man had to do to get in that seat at the end of the bench, not playing a lot. So he had to be the best player on his middle school team, his high school team, his college team by so far. And after dominating basketball your whole life for all those years, you get to the NBA draft, where there's 2 rounds of 30 picks each. So a total of 60 players will get drafted. 60 players out of thousands get drafted from college or from overseas. So 60 get drafted, and then maybe some who got undrafted will get signed to a minimum contract. But let's assume 80 players on an average draft. Assume 80, which is a lot, will get into the NBA. Do you understand? 80 players, and think about the thousands of great players you see go to college, even from your school or in your state, go to a great college. 80 players make the NBA. And the players that do get drafted and do make it, and even a lot who don't, have spent their whole life focusing on basketball, trying to be one of the best players in the world, and a lot, definitely more people than not, fail. And a small example of how good an NBA player is, a small example, Brian Scalabrine, a player widely known as not that good, you know, everyone makes fun of him, says he's the worst NBA player of all time, was challenged to a 1v1 by a local man thinking that he could beat him. So they put their shoes on the line. You guys probably saw this story. This man put his shoes on the line, so did Brian Scalabrine, and Brian Scalabrine proceeded to absolutely destroy him, 11-0, taking his shoes and talking smack to him. Brian Scalabrine, the worst player in the NBA history, people say, easily beat a local YMCA dude who thinks he's nice at basketball. And we know Patrick Beverley. You all know Patrick Beverley, that scrappy dude who's good at defense, you know, doesn't do much offensively, but a scrappy guy. Yeah, he averaged 37 points in high school. 37 points. People look at that and they're like surprised, but he's an NBA player. He was literally the Michael Jordan to the kids he played against back in high school, and now he's in the NBA and not even come close to being looked at as a scorer. And then Jimmy Butler, for example. Jimmy Butler, someone considered a below average three-point shooter, beat Kevin Hart in a three-point shootout with his left hand. Jimmy Butler, with his opposite hand, beat Kevin Hart in a three-point shootout. An average guy who plays basketball, kind of a good shooter. You know, Kevin Hart, for the average guy, is a decent shooter. Jimmy beat him with his left hand. And these are just some examples on why they are on such another level than anyone you probably know, and you will never be close. Unfortunately, hurt to say, you'll never be close. These are the top 400 most elite players in the world. There should be no reason you should think that you or anyone you know is close to them unless you know an NBA player. And when you hear me say someone's not that good at this or not that good at this in basketball terms, just remember I'm referring to them compared to other NBA players, because even the worst three-point shooter in the league is probably a great three-point shooter in general. So when I'm talking about the NBA, someone's not good at that, I'm talking about compared to other NBA players, because those guys are all amazing. There's no bad NBA players in the entire league. So just get that out of your mind, because they are all very good at sport to be in the best league in the world, making millions of dollars. So yeah, that's today's video, guys. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Rundacourt family. That's it. I'm out. Peace.